Let us learn how you can write a program which converts a decimal number into binary, octal, and hexadecimal. And the main thing is without using array and recursion. Many of you might already have done this program with using recursion and array, but how can you solve it without using recursion or array, or without using printfs, percentage x or percentage o syntax? Okay, we don't want any shortcut. We want to actually write the program, C program, which converts decimal into binary, octal, and hexadecimal. Let us try to look into it. And the key thing is we don't want to use array or recursion. Generally, why do we need to use array or recursion? So what we do, generally we take some array, and whenever we divide a number, so the technique for converting from decimal to any base is straightforward. If you want to convert to base 2, or basically binary, you keep dividing it by 2. If you want to convert to octal, you keep dividing it by 8. If you want to convert to hexadecimal, you keep dividing by 16. So we are taking a small number as an example so that we can understand it easily. So if you want to convert 123 into binary, what you will do is you divide it by 2, and whatever answer you get, you write here, and remainder you write here. Then whatever is the answer, you again divide it by 2, you write the answer here, remainder here, and you continue this, and then you you continue this until you get this number which is smaller than the base you want to convert to, right? And then including this number, you write the entire thing in reverse. So why do you need to use array? So when you divide it by 2, whatever remainder is left, you are not going to directly print it on the screen. This you have to print at the end because the number is in the reverse, right? So you store it somewhere, maybe on the call stack if you are using recursion, or on the array. So 1 1 0 and so on, right? 1 1 0 1 1 1, right? And then this, whenever you get a number smaller than your base, you print it, and then you print these remainders in reverse. So the last remainder that you had got, you will print immediately after this. 1 1, then this one, then this one. So basically you print it in reverse. 1 1 1 1 0 1 1. This one is this, and the remainders then you print in reverse. This is your binary number. Same technique applies for octal. Now the question is, without remembering these remainders, can you solve this or not? Right? Maybe with increased complexity, that is fine with us, but we do not want any space to store this. We want our space complexity to be constant. We do not want any array. Okay, so let us look into this. So, but in order to solve this, you should thoroughly understand this mechanism. Whenever you are dividing it by 8, what does this 15 mean? What does this 3 mean? What does this 7 mean? What does this 1 mean? So you should have a thorough understanding of that. So before we talk about the technique for solving the program or for writing a C program, let us try to understand this number conversion technique. So here as an example, we have 123 stars. There are 6 lines of 20 stars each. So we have 123 stars. If we group these stars into group of tens, right, then we are getting 12 such groups, right? 12 groups of 10 stars each, and then we are left with 3 loose stars. So in total we have 123 stars. What if we again group these boxes into bigger box which contains 10 such a smaller box? So this we will consider as a smaller box. If we create a bigger box which contains 10 such a smaller box, right? So how many such a bigger box will be able to create? So this was the situation at hand. We had 12 smaller box and 3 loose stars. Now we created one bigger box which contains 10 boxes, and it contains 10 boxes of 10 stars each. So in total there are 100 stars in this bigger box. And then we will be left with, so we had 12 smaller boxes, 10s are occupied or are packed in the bigger box. So we are left with 2 smaller box and 3 loose stars. So we have one box of 100 stars, and then we have two boxes of 10 stars, and we have three loose stars. So this is 123 in that way, and this is our number, right? If you think about it. So when we simply write 123, what we mean, this is units place, this is tens place, this is hundreds place. So we have one box of 100, two boxes of 10, and three loose stars. Exactly what we have here, right? So if you divide 123 repeatedly by 10, what you get? If you divide it by 10, then you will get 12 as answer and 3 as remainder. If you again divide it by 10, then what you will get? You will get 1 as an answer and 2 as a remainder. So then when you print it like this, you will get 123. Exactly same technique we are using for all other numbers. Here for decimal base is 10, for other number system base might be different, right? So let us look into how it works for octal. So now again we have 123 stars. For octal, base is 8, right? For octal, base is 8. So we are converting the stars into boxes of 8 stars each, and we are able to create 15 such boxes, and 3 stars are loose, right? So 15 boxes of 8 stars each plus 3 loose stars, 15 is 120, so it is 123. We are representing 123 like this. Now can we create even bigger box? So now we are creating bigger box which contains 8 smaller boxes, right? Now initially when we were talking about decimal, we were creating box of 10 stars and then packing those boxes into bigger box of 10 smaller boxes. Now in octal, everything is in base of 8, so 8 raised to 1, 8 raised to 2, and so on. So we created a smaller box of 8 star, and we are trying to pack into bigger box which contains 8 smaller boxes, not 10. So now this bigger box contains 8 smaller boxes of 8 stars each, so we have 64 stars in it. So how many such boxes of 64 we have? 1. So one box of 64 size, plus out of these 8 boxes have been used. There were 15 boxes in total, so we are left with 7 boxes of 8 stars each, and then we are left with 3 stars. So this is also 123 in total. So if you think about it, if you divide 123 repeatedly by 8, what you get? When you first divide it by 8, you get 15, and you get 3 here. When you again divide it by 8, you get 1 and 7 here, right? So this is 173 in octal, right? So this total is 123 in decimal, but if you want to write that number in octal, then what you will write? 1, I should have written this 8 into 7. It's the same thing, but basically 8 raised to number I have shown first, right? So let me be consistent with that. Sorry for this mess. 64 boxes of 1 each, so 173 is my answer, right? So if you think about it, when you divide by 8 the number 153, what you are getting is the number of the smaller boxes that you can create, each box of 8 stars out of this 123 stars, so that is 15. So you can create 15 boxes, and there would be 3 stars left. Now when you again divide by 8, you are trying to see how many bigger boxes out of smaller boxes you can create. So you will be able to create only one bigger box because there are only 15. If there were 17 smaller boxes, then you will be able to create 2 bigger boxes, and you will be left with 1 smaller box. But you only have 15 smaller boxes, so you will be able to create only 1 bigger box, and you will be left with 7 smaller boxes, right? So I hope you are understanding what is this. So this is the loose stars you have left, this is the number of smaller boxes you have left, and this is the number of bigger boxes that you were able to create, and this is the number of smaller boxes which you had before combining them into bigger box, right? Total smaller boxes 15, then you combine them into one bigger box and lose 7 boxes, right? So let us try to understand with help of another example. Let's take any random number, let's say 312. So if you wanted to convert this 312 into octal, what you will do? 8, then what you will get? 8 3s are 24, 72, 8 9s are. So this is 0, right? Okay, now if you again divide it by 8, what will you get? You will get 8 4s are 32 and 7 would be left, right? Now can you divide it by 8 again? No, because this is the number which is smaller than my base, so I will not divide it further, and whatever I have got I will write in reverse order. So this is 470 or 470 in octal. So I can say that 312 in decimal is equivalent to 470 in octal, right? Now, but for this technique, I need to remember these numbers in reverse, right? So can I somehow find a technique where I don't need to remember this? So when we divide it by 8, what we are trying to do? First, we are creating all boxes of 8. Then we are packing those boxes of 8 into bigger box of 8 smaller boxes each, and then even bigger box, and then even bigger box until we can, right? So that's the technique that we are using. But what if we do not do it, and what if we try to find this number first and then try to find this and then try to find this? You might ask, how can you find this? So what does this number represent? So if you had divided this number by twice by now, this number represents the number of boxes with 64 stars that you can create, right? When you first divided it by 8, you got 39 boxes of 8 stars each. When you divided it by 8, you got big boxes. That how many big boxes which contain 8 smaller boxes that you can create, and smaller box has 8 stars. So bigger box will have 8 8s are 64 stars. So this 4 number represents how many boxes of size 64 that you can create. This number represents, after creating this bigger box, how many smaller boxes will be left, and this represents how many loose stars will be left. In this case, there are no loose stars that would be left, hence the value is 0, right? But what I am trying to say is, instead of getting the numbers in this direction and then storing them somewhere and then printing it in reverse, can we generate them in reverse itself? Can we generate 4 first and then 7 and then 0? So what you can do for that? So you have 312, right? Let's say if you divide this by 64, I will later we will talk about that, how to find a number with which to start dividing first. This is a new technique, okay? So please bear with me. We will talk about this number, where to start. Here it was easier, right? Number to start is same as the base, right? But here it is some base, your base raised to something. So here it is 8 raised to 2, but how to get this power, or from which number to start dividing, we will look into later. But what I am trying to say is, what we will do, we will divide this number by 64 first, and then we will divide it by 8, and then we will try to divide, we will not try to divide it any further, right? So if you divide this 312 by 64, then what you get? The answer you get is 4, right? And what is the remainder? So 64 4s are, what is that? 256. So if you remove 256 out of 312, then you get 56. So 56 is the remainder. So now we will write quotient here and we will write remainder here. And this is our quotient. It was the other way around here, right? Our quotient was here and remainder was here. So now let's see, if so after 56, if we divide it by 8, what we will get? 8 sevens are 56. So basically I should not write 7 here, right? I should write quotient there, sorry, remainder here and quotient here. So 8 sevens are 56 and remainder is 0. Now if you write it in this way, you will get 470, right? So now what does this 56 represent? After creating the biggest box that I create out of 312, what would be the number of stars left? I will be able to create 4 biggest boxes and stars left would be 57. Now out of this I cannot create box of 64, right? So I will be left with 8. So out of this 8, how many boxes I can create of out of this 56, how many boxes of 8 each I can create? That would be 7 and remainder left would be 0, right? So if you create it in this way, then you will not need array or recursion to remember the things in reverse. But now how to find this number, the biggest number with which you should start dividing this? So what you do, whatever base you want to convert to, so start from 8 raised to 0. Let's say I want to convert 312, then try to divide 312 by 8 raised to 0. See if your quotient is greater than 1. So basically if this integer division results into any number greater than 0, then you keep raising this. So now check with 8 raised to 1. You will still get your answer, your quotient, which will be greater than 0, right? If you try to 8 by 8 raised to 2, which is 64, you will still get this number which is greater than 0. Then you try it by 8 raised to 3. 8 raised to 3 is 512. So if you divide 312 by 512, then you will get this decimal division, this integer division will result in 0. So you stop there, and then, so what does this mean? Basically, you are not able to create any box of size 512 out of this number. So then you reduce the size of the box. So basically with this, by repeatedly dividing it by 8 raised to 0, 8 raised to 1, 8 raised to 2, 8 raised to 3, we are trying to see what is the biggest box that I can create out of this in terms of 8 raised to. So that is 8 raised to 2, because 8 raised to 3, which is 512, I cannot create box of 512. So then I go to the previous number, which was 8 raised to 2. And then I see how many boxes of this size I can create. So when we are dividing it by 64, we are seeing how many boxes of this 8 raised to 2 I can create. So the answer is 4. And so the answer of this integer division would be 4, right? And what is this 56? So if I do 312 modulo 8 raised to 2, then I will get 56. Basically, this is the remainder after creating 4 boxes, right? So that I write here. This must be less than this number always. And what should be this number? Whatever your base was. So you already checked how many boxes of 8 raised to 2 you can make. Now let us check with the remainder of stars, how many boxes of 8 you can create. So now you divide this number by 8 raised to this number minus 1. So this was 2. So now you divide it by 8, right? And get your answer. So when you divide that by 8, it means that you can create 7 boxes and no loose stars would be left. So that is 0. And so basically whenever you divide and whatever answer you get, right, here 4, you will just print it. Then you will reduce this number by, you will divide this number by 8 and you will get 8. Now you will divide this remainder by 8 and you will get 7. So you print that 7, right? And then you divide that number by 8 divided by 8, which is 1. So you divide this number, which was 0 remainder, by 1 and you get 0 and 470 is our answer, right? So basically you start with some big number and this number would always be your base raised to some number x. Now you have to find out by continually dividing the given number by base raised to something. So for example, you want to use the same technique for 312 to convert 312 into binary. What will you do? Let's take an example. How would you convert 312 into binary using this example? So if I have 312, let us start from 2 raised to 0. If I divide this number by 2 raised to 0, will my integer division result into greater than 0? Yes. If I divide it by 2 raised to 1, it will result in integer number which is greater than 0, right? What if I divide this by 2 raised to 2? Definitely 2 raised to 3, 2 raised to 4, 2 raised to 5 is 32, 2 raised to 6 is 64, 2 raised to 7 is 128, and 2 raised to 8 is 256. So if I divide this number by 256, it will still result into number greater than 0. If I divide this by 256, it will result in 1 which is greater than 0. If I divide this by 2 raised to 9, which is 512, then it will not result in 0, right? Sorry, it will result in 0. 312 divided by 512, it will result in 0. So I cannot create any box of size 2 raised to 9 out of this 312. So I will start with 2 raised to 8. So I start with 2 raised to 8, which is nothing but 256, right? If I divide this by 256, what remainder I will get? 312 by minus 256, that would be 6, 56, right? So I will get 56. So basically I write my remainder here and I write my quotient here. So how many boxes of 256 I will be able to create? Only 1, because if I divide by 312 by 256, the answer would be 1. Now what is the next number that I should divide this number by? So my base is 2, right? So that should be 2 raised to 7. So basically I keep reducing this, or in other words, I divide this number by base. So if it is 256, then I divide it by 128 now. So can I create any box of size 128 of this? Out of 56, can I create any box of size 128? No. So what would be my answer? 0. And what would be the remainder? The same, 56. If I divide this by 2 raised to 6, which is 64, then what would be my answer? 0. Sorry, what my answer would be 0. I should be writing the remainder here, right? And what would be the remainder? It will remain 56. Now 2 raised to 5. Can I divide this by 2 raised to 5, which is 32? Yes. And what would be my answer? This would be 1. And what would be the remainder? Remainder would be 32. If you subtract 32 out of this, then you get 24, right? If you further divide this by 2 raised to 4, which will be 16 in this case, then you can divide it and your remainder would be 8, right? If you further divide this by 2 raised to 3, which is 8 in this case, then you will get 1 box, right? And the remainder would be 0. Yes or no? So if you further divide this by 2 raised to 2, what would be the answer? Your this is 4, so this will be 0, this will be 0. Again do it by 2 raised to 1, this will be 0, this will be 0, and then this would be your answer, right? So this is the technique we can use, so that we don't need to print in reverse, but after getting this you'd immediately print this, after getting this you'd immediately print this, right? You can immediately print this without storing into array and you get your answer. So if you had good understanding of number system, then you would have been easily able to solve it. But here if you observe, then there is a double complexity. You need to keep dividing your number by your base raised to something until you get 0, right? So that you can find this number with which you start dividing it. and that is the added complexity, right? So instead of one pass, this approach will require two passes over that number. So the complexity of this would be 2 log n. I'm not sure if you will understand this, but that would be 2 log n, which was just log to the base 2n in the previous approach. So basically, if you don't understand this, it is okay. Basically, the time taken by this new algorithm, which does not use array or recursion, would be roughly double your previous approach, roughly double of your previous approach. Okay, so this is the code with which I am trying to do exactly same thing. So basically I am scanning the input number and I am treating the special case of value 0, that if input is 0, then I output 0 0 0 in answer, because zeros of binary, octal and hexadecimal would be 0. All other numbers can be handled by this function called print converted num. So it will print the converted number. It takes two arguments, number which you want to convert, and the base, or basically this would be 2 for binary, 8 for octal and 16 for hexadecimal, the base in which you want to convert to. So I call that function repeatedly and get my number converted. So if my input is 312, then I will provide 312 to start with, and number 2 for binary. So it will come here 312. So number to convert is 312. The base power and the current digit. So base power I am starting from 1. So let's check the num to convert is equal to 312. Your base is 2 and base power I am initializing with value 1. So basically in this base power I will keep changing it to 2 raised to 0, 2 raised to 1, 2 raised to 2 and so on, right? I will keep changing it to, I will keep increasing the power of the base, right? Currently I am starting with 1, which is nothing but base to the raise 0, right? So basically please observe this semicolon at the end with this for loop. So it has null body, it does not have any body associated with it. With this for loop I am trying to find this highest number with which I should start dividing, right? So how do you do it? The given number, you keep dividing it by 2 raised to 0, 1, 2, 3, so on until you get 0. So that's exactly what we are trying to do here. Number to convert, we will divide it by base power and we will continue the loop if it is not 0. And in each iteration, I am multiplying base power with base. So during first iteration, base power is 1. So number to convert is 312 divided by base power, which is 1. So this will result into something greater than 0, not 0. So it will come here. So basically there is no body, so it will not execute. It will come to this condition and base power is equal to base power into base. So base power was 1, so into 2 will be 2. So now we are changing the value of base power to 2 raised to 1. So now this we will try here. The condition is number to convert, which is 312 divided by base power, which is 2. So this is still greater than 0. Then we change the base power to base power into 2. So initially it was 2 raised to 1. When we multiply it by 2, it will become 2 raised to 2, which is nothing but 4, right? And then we check if dividing this by 4 will result in number greater than 0, right? Then we go here and multiply this base power by 2. So it was 2 raised to 2. Now it will become 2 raised to 3 and it will become 8. And then we again with this condition check if 312 divided by is greater than 0. This will continue until I have base power of 512. So when I have base power of 256, right, that is 2 raised to 8, this condition would be true, right? 312 divided by 256 will result in 1. So that condition is true. So it will not stop. and it will go here and do base power into base. So that will become 512. Now once I have this as 512, this becomes 0, integer division, right? So once I have that as 0, I stop the loop. So basically if it is 0, it will stop the loop, right? It will continue until it's not 0. So once it comes out of this, I have value 512 stored in base power. But I know that I cannot start dividing this by 512, because with that I cannot create even a single group, right? So I will reduce that power to 2 raised to 8. I will reduce that power by 1, right? So you can do that by dividing by 2 or dividing by whatever your base is. So I am taking an example of binary, but if you run through this algorithm for octal or hexadecimal, it will work very, very fine. Okay, so you can check that out. Okay, so that is that for loop. And with dividing base, we convert this, divide 512 by 2, so we get 256. This is the largest group in terms of 2 raised to something that I can create out of this given number, right? So now this is the loop for, so the for loop was to find this number, right, with which I should start dividing. Now this code is for repeatedly doing these steps one by one. Okay, so what I do in each step, I divide the given number and print the result, print the digit that I get, and I change the number into this number, this remainder. Okay, so please observe what I am doing. This current digit is equal to number to convert. So number to convert is 312. Divide by base power. Base power is 2. So sorry, base power is 256. So if I divide 312 by 256, I get 1. So the digit to print is 1. So I am remembering that digit which I will print with this logic, but right now I am remembering that digit. And then the number which I have to convert, after getting this answer, the number to convert remains 56 and not 312, right? Because I already created one box and the number that is left now is only 56. So that I remember by this logic that number to convert modulo equals to base power, or in other words, number to convert equal to number to convert modulo base power. So if so this is the answer, and how you get the remainder, that is 312 by 256. That is what I am doing here, and after getting that I am storing that back into number to convert, so that in the next iteration I will work on the answer of this, right, which was what, 56. So 56 will be stored in num to convert, and in the next iteration of the loop I will work on 56, right? And base power is base power divided by equal to base. So with this, what I am doing, I am doing this. So base power I want to reduce every time, right? So that is that step. And now this condition is for, we also want to handle hexadecimal by this function. This function should be able to handle hexadecimal. So I am checking if the digit that I have to print is greater than 9 and less than 16. If this is the case, then what will I do? So whatever current digit is, let's say if it is 10, then it will do 10 minus 10 plus a. So basically 10 minus 10 is 0, so it will not add anything to ASCII of a. But if current digit was 12, then it will current digit minus 10 plus a, ASCII value of a. So it will, this, the answer of this is 2 and ASCII value of a. So this will result into C, right? ASCII value of C. So it will print C in that case, which is what we want, because 12 is equivalent to C, right? You can wrap your head around this and you will get what is going on. And here, if the number is not greater than 9, but if it is less than or equal to 9, then we directly just print that digit, right? After printing that digit, this will iterate again. Now in the next iteration, the number to convert would be 56, which is the reduced number, which is this number, and the base power would be 2 raised to 7 because we have already halved it here, right? And it will repeat and it will give me the final it will continue until your base power becomes 0, and that's what we want, right? Until we want to continue until our base power becomes 0, right? Because here this remainder was 0, but still we wanted to print some zeros at the end, right? And how many zeros, that only can be understood by base power. So in previous case, in this technique, we stopped when we were repeatedly dividing by 8. We were stopping when we get this number which is smaller than the base. But in this technique, we don't stop when we get number which is smaller than base, but we continue until our base power becomes 0. Okay, and that's what we want. I think you understood by this. Okay, so you can walk through octal and hexadecimal yourself, and you will see that this technique will work for every base. It will work even for other bases like 7, 6, 5, 4, right? Any base which is greater than 2 and less than 16, less than equal to 16, greater than equal to 2 or less than equal to 16. You can go beyond 16, but generally we have F as the last alphabet from the for representing number. But if you increase this to 17, and if you say your G will represent 16, and if you want to get answer for base 17 with this small change and this small change, you can continue, right? And this is also bad practice that I hard coded this. Ideally I should have defined them as defined largest digit or something like that, and then should have used it. That would have been better. But I hope otherwise the code is clear enough for you to understand, and I hope you understood this well and all your doubts were clear. Thanks for tolerating me.